On my Christmas play, we bring some 2 extra 3 extra. To show them, I said, we got some football players here tonight, not generally.
Some of the most important decisions anyone ever makes, no matter what you do in life, is choosing the people you're with, whether it's a team, whether it's your family, whether it's co-workers. You're going to hear tonight about a very special group of people who went through a very special time. You've all seen the movie. You all know what it's about. However, let me put in context when I found out what this very special group was all about. I want to take you back a little over 10 years. Most of you know I came from George Mason University, had been there for years.
There were 3 high schools in Alexandria that they decided to merge into one. There was a high school called George Washington, GW High School, the Presidents. There was a high school called Francis C. Hammond, the Hammond Admirals. And then there was a 3rd high school called T.C. Williams Titans. And one summer, in response to forced court-ordered integration, they said, we're going to take every 11th and 12th grader in the city and we're going to send them to one school, T.C. Williams High School. And it's going to start in August. We get each other right. But we decided we would do the right thing. And we had some good coaches with a good message, good mentorship, good lesson. And we stepped up. And the movie portrays that we went on, and we had some nail biters and some come from behinds, and we ended up, by the skin of our teeth, we ended up winning the state championship. And you know what? It wasn't about winning the state championship. Somebody won the state championship last year. And somebody won the state championship 10 years ago. And 15 years ago. And there's no movie about them. They decided to tell our story not because we were good football players, but because we ended up being good people. We ended up acting right, working hard, acting as a team, treating each other right, respecting our coaches. And that's the story that people noticed.
As you go through life and you listen to your coaches and your parents, and pay attention to what they say. Because these lessons, you will be able to implement them in your life. When you get out, this is not the real world. You need to get started in the real world, but this is not the real world. The real world goes from 8 hours a day. And if you're lucky, you may get, a little short in there. But when you get out there, I call the real world working every day. That's the real world. You're going to meet people from all endeavors of life. You think this college is something. You wait till you get into that melting pot. That's a larger melting pot than universities and colleges are.
My name is Garrett Hobson, better known as Sugar Babe. Knows how to figure that out. It's a long story. But if my teammates spoke about that team in 71, I'm going to fast forward that to the present. Just to let you know what myself and my teammates have accomplished as grown men. When I say grown men, we have kids your age, and some of them older. So we got a nice little number on us, you figure it out now. But we have ball players that, out of that team, I see about 70, maybe 75 guys on that football team. And out of 75 or 70 guys, 60 of us went to college. And out of 60 that went to college, 22 went to play football. So as I speak to you of what we're doing today, we're now chief of policemen of Alexandria, Virginia. One brother who was the starting safety went to Duke and started as a safety. He's right now the chief of police of Alexandria. Figure out what it is to feel like growing up across the street from a police precinct and you can't even participate as a police officer. Some almost 40 years later, you now demand it.
It had to do with my dad calling in, saying, how come Rufus is starting, not my boy? They had to deal with that kind of stuff. They had to deal with the neighborhoods. And they kept that all to themselves and managed to get us to do what we needed to concentrate on doing. So, thanks, Rick.
A lot of that stuff we didn't find out about until the movie.
But I'm gonna change it up on a little bit. Ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough. I see a lot of diversity, and that's something I try to work with the young kids about today. Racism. I can't believe it's still going on in 2010. There's a lot of things on this earth that we as human beings need to survive. We need air, we need water, we need love, companionship. But racism is one thing we can't get along without. And it might not happen in my lifetime, but it most certainly can happen in your lifetime. That's something we need to erase from our vocabulary. Everybody just love one another and treat each other with respect and judge a person for the person they are, not because of the color of their skin or the way they look or anything, because that's something we learned, and it made us successful. So that's what I'm going to leave y'all with tonight. When y'all leave,
The lessons of the fallen brothers who shed their blood so that people would learn lessons. No.
We took it out on 6 o'clock in the morning.
People paid a visit to his home in the middle of the night, and they did not, like in the movie, they didn't throw a brick through his window. They threw a toilet through his plate glass window in front of his house. Welcome to the neighborhood, Coach. And he didn't let that impact the way he treated us, the way he expected us to get along.